Ladies and gentlemen of the XRP community, buckle up, because today, November 24th, 2025, marks a seismic shift that's got the entire crypto universe on high alert. XRP is currently trading at $2.25, clawing back above that pivotal $2 threshold with the kind of momentum that screams breakout. But here's the jaw-dropping hook that's dominating every feed right now. Franklin Templeton's XRPZ Spot ETF and Grayscale's GXRP just launched live on the NYSE, with initial inflows already clocking in at over $85 million across 4 funds in the first day alone. Bitwise at $36.6 million, Franklin at $23.7 million, Canary at $18.8 million, and Grayscale at $6.7 million. That's not retail noise. That's institutional capital rotating in at warp speed. The kind of move that historically catapults assets into the stratosphere. What if this is the ignition for XRP to surge toward $2,000? Yeah, you heard that right. $2,000. Not in some distant fantasy, but as a grounded projection if these catalysts stack up. Stick around, because we're unpacking every layer of this beast, from on-chain whispers to expert breakdowns, and by the end, you'll have the insider edge to navigate what's coming. And folks, this is not financial advice. Always DIR and consult professionals before making moves. Let's start by grounding ourselves in the why behind the what, because context is king in a market this volatile. XRP isn't just another ticker. It's the engineered bridge for the $120 trillion cross-border payments industry, built by Ripple to solve the inefficiencies that bleed banks dry. Think days-long settlements and fees eating 6 to 7% per transaction via legacy systems like Swift. XRP flips that script. 3 to 5 second finality, sub-penny costs, and scalability hitting 1,500 transactions per second out of the gate. It's like swapping a clunky fax machine for fiber optic broadband in the world of global finance. Fast forward to today, and the regulatory clouds that hung over Ripple since the 2020 SEC saga, they're parting. The 2023 court ruling declared XRP not a security for secondary sales, paving the way for this ETF flood. And now, with these launches, we're witnessing the proof. Institutions aren't dipping toes, they're diving headfirst. Diving straight into the fresh fire from X today, because nothing cuts through the noise like real-time community and expert pulse. Crypto analyst Chad Steingraber, whose Monday close breakdown has already notched 1,167 likes and 112,000 views, laid it out crystal clear. Bitwise XRP, 1,452,944 shares, 36,599 at 49. Franklin XRPZ, 965,003, 23,066, 177. Canary XRPC, 783,025, 18,772,608. Grayscale GXRP, 105,560, 6,117,480. Total, $85,156,524 for 1 day, 4 funds. That's raw inflow data. XRP Army, not speculation, but verifiable volume, signaling the big money's arrival. Replies are exploding with projections. One user quips, more Dutcher XRP ETFs on the way. Zelena, Blachter, Sudiners, para Helivier, hinting at the pipeline that's got everyone buzzing. And it's not stopping there. NP Coin echoed the sentiment in a fresh post. Fantastic XRP spot ETF performance for Monday's close. But wait, there's more. This is the kind of chain reaction that builds conviction. Each post layering evidence that today's not a fluke, but the floor for exponential growth. But hold on. Before we accelerate into the technicals, let's tease the on-chain undercurrents that are fueling this surge. What if I told you whale wallets are already positioning for a supply crunch that could multiply these ETF effects tenfold? We'll circle back to that in a sec. But first, let's break down the ETF mechanics step by step, because understanding the plumbing turns hype into strategy. Spot ETFs, like these, aren't futures bets. They're direct ownership wrappers, allowing pensions, hedge funds, and even your neighbor's 401k to stack XRP without the custody headaches. Franklin Templeton's XRPZ, with its razor-thin 0.99% fee waived on the first $5 billion, is tailor-made for scale. Managing $1.7 trillion in assets, they're not playing small. Grayscale's conversion from trust to ETF unlocks liquidity for existing holders, while Bitwise and Canary's early leads show diverse appetite. Historical parallel, Bitcoin spot ETFs pulled $50 billion in months, spiking BTC 75%. XRP, with its utility multiplier, could see asymmetric upside. Conservative models suggest $10 billion inflows in Q1 2026 alone, per FXS Street's fresh analysis shared by Life Off Finance today. ETF inflows could accelerate XRP momentum above 2%. Teaser time. Imagine if BlackRock joins the fray next. Rumors are swirling from posts like KK718 use poll. ブラツクロスクが XRP 専務の ETF 新調してくると思う方、してほしい。現母含む方、ハーツリジュしてくる。XRP タリップル、アージュブラックロック。With likes pouring in for a yes vote, the FOMO is palpable. But let's not get ahead. Stick with me as we dissect how these inflows translate to price action. Today's $0.20 jumped from $2.05 to $2.25. Steingraber crunched it. 52 mLs net inflow. Their 20B market cap boost using full supply. 52 ml. $4. 1.04B. XRP. $2 $25 X20. $45,000 in one day. That's the math of scarcity in action. ETFs lock up circulating supply. 60.2 billion XRP at 125.5 B cap, while transaction fees burn tokens perpetually. Velocity up 15% week over week per on-chain trackers means demand isn't just buying, it's using, shifting to the community's raw energy, because today's X is a sentiment goldmine that's sparking debates left and right. XRP Crypto Wolf's viral query. Anyone else believe XRP is about to skyrocket? Has 405 likes, 13,800 views, and 52 replies. From Hell Yes, ETFs are the catalyst, to HODL for $580. It's that unbridled optimism that virality thrives on, pulling in sideliners. Then there's Don Khan's thread firing on all cylinders. XRP at $2.05, blasting from $3 to $1,000 sooner than the doubters can FOMO in. Spot on. But let's crank it up. The real rocket fuel. 10 ETFs, sucking 1.5B XRP off exchanges monthly. With 300 plus engagements, it's the kind of bold alpha that gets reposted, fueling the algorithm and our collective hype. Counterpoints add spice. XRP rocket, he offers replies. Why should XRP suddenly surge? There's no reason. The Clarity Act also doesn't seem to come until 2026, linking Yahoo Finance, sparking 25-view debates that keep threads alive for hours. This friction, it's healthy. It builds resilience in the narrative. Now, for the educational backbone, let's unpack XRP's tech stack like we're blueprinting a Ferrari engine, because value comes from knowing why this isn't vaporware. The XRP ledger, XRPL, runs on the Ripple Protocol Consensus Algorithm, RPCA. No energy-guzzling mining, just validators agreeing in seconds via a UN-like federation of 150-plus nodes. Decentralized. Check. Ripple holds under 5% of supply now, post-escrow burns. Add on-demand liquidity, ODL. It sources XRP on one end, settles instantly on the other, bridging fiat gaps without pre-funding. Analogy. Picture remittances from Mexico to the U.S. Traditional wires take 3-5 days, $25+ fees. ODL. Seconds, under a cent, with 100 million plus transactions processed to date. Today's ISO 2122 compatibility, as Coin Bureau highlighted in a post with 1,123 likes. Franklin Templeton launched an XRP ETF. Franklin Templeton says XRP is foundational to global finance. That's interoperability gold. XRP now speaks the language of 70% of global payments, syncing with Swift rails for hybrid adoption. Mini cliffhanger. But what if this tech meets the ETF liquidity tsunami? Projections from Brave New Coin and today's post point to $20 targets if banks route just 5% of flows. Hang tight. We're modeling scenarios next that could redefine your portfolio outlook, countering the FUD head-on because every surge has its skeptics, and addressing them builds unbreakable conviction. Myth 1. XRP's too centralized. Ripple pulls strings. Fact check. XRPL's open source, with validators from universities to exchanges. Ripple's influence is advisory, not dictatorial. Over 300 partners like Santander and SBI prove it's ecosystem-driven. Myth 2. ETFs are just hype, no real inflows. Busted by Steingraber's data. 85 lomites are day one across funds, with Bitwise busting 1M shares per Jake Claver LLC's update. Bitwise XRP ETF bust through 1 million share volume. Myth 3. Price dumps on news. Reality. Dips like last week's sub-$2 test were accumulation zones. Whales scooped 33M XRP, 70 meters, to Coinbase, per whale alerts alert shared by BIS. 33,647,358. Hero XRP, 70,000 takes of 580 USD. Transferred from unknown wallet to Dower's Coinbase. That's positioning, not panic. Zooming into what-if territory, because scenarios turn analysis into foresight. Base case. Steady ETF maturation pulls 500 million monthly, capturing 1% remittances, XRP to $5 by EOY 2025, aligning with Rachel's take. XRP is pushing above used £2.22. Bulls want a strong close to confirm a trend reversal. Bull case. 10% adoption post-ISO. with RLUSD stablecoin integrations, $50 by 2026, as Don.con floats. 10 ETFs, sucking 1.5 B XRP off exchanges monthly, banks hoarding billions. Moonshot, full reserve asset status, processing trillions, $2,000 equilibrium, where market cap mirrors payment slice, 100T, 50B supply. Backed by Zach Rector's video, 959 likes. XRP back above, $2 with 2 ETFs going live tomorrow. Echoed in Pascal Najadi's hype. XRP is about to go parabolic. Community deep dive extension. Posts like XRP Avengers Shoutout, 681 likes. Today, I want to give a shout out to all XRP HODL who didn't panic sell. Comment ETF below. Hundreds piled in, fostering that unbreakable spirit. Or Crypto Yitai's insight. Who knows that the XRP ETFs will help Ripple to quickly get to the 20% maximum XRP holdings requirement for the Clarity Act without putting downward pressure, threading regulatory wins into utility. Debates rage. Guy's cynicism. I guarantee XRP will settle long-term under $2. Versus bulls like Bryce. This is how they are accumulating XRP for cheap. Great for the price when we run into supply shock. This polarity. It's engagement rocket fuel. Likes, replies, shares skyrocketing. Tech elaboration. Let's linger on ODL's flow. Step 1. Sender requests quote in local fiat. Step 2. ODL sources XRP via DEX. Step 3. Atomic settle in recipient fiat. No counterparty risk. Fully auditable. Pair with automated market makers, AMMs, on XRPL. Launched last year, boosting DeFi TVL 300%. Fees 0.0001. XRP burned per TX. Deflationary by design. 10 mem plus torched annually. Analogy. Like a toll road where each car pays a micro fee that shrinks the road itself, tightening traffic flow. More X integrations. Digital Outlook's post, 41 likes. XRP, from 1.82, panic to 2.09 power move. Spot XRP ETFs from Franklin Templeton and Grayscale launched today. Ties perfectly to AIXRP's summary. Franklin Templeton's XRP ETF is debuting today. XRP hit 2.05. Futures open interest climbed by 8.69%. Whale moves like Ripple's 202 Mars transfer. Ripple transferred over 202 meters in XRP to an unknown wallet. Strategic reserves, not dumps. Myth extension. No utility beyond speculation. Counter. $30 billion quarterly. ODL volume, per Ripple reports. Partners, American Express, PNC, real rails, not pilots. Volatility kills it. Truth, beta to BTC dropping to 1.2 per TradingView shares by Diaco. XRP dipped below $2, no sweat. Analysts say it's just testing support. $20 target still locked in. Scenarios deepened. What if CBDC pilots, Swift's experimenting, mandate ISO, XRP's compliant, 20% flow capture equals $100 plus. BlackRock filing, KN18 _ use poll suggests 80% expected per early votes. Carry trade unwinds. Seb Crypto's charts. Holy God candle if weekly MAs cross. Conservative, $2.30 short term per Robert W. XRP feels like it's right on the edge. Breakout signs everywhere. Teaser loop. Ever pondered why velocity trumps scarcity here? One overlooked post reveals it next. Velocity scarcity nexus. High turnover. Remittances equals repeat use. Plus burns equals price floor. ETF outflows. 1.5 billion monthly per Don Con. Deflation on steroids. King Hef's forecast. $5 peaks by late 2025 if it breaks $2.17. Community extension. XRP Crypto Wolf's Moon Call. 86 likes. Send XRP to the moon. Replies. Group buys forming. Invest with D's thread. 63,000 views. Boom. Franklin Templeton and Grayscale XRP. Spot ETFs are now live. Day 1. Trading inflow projections. Comments. $5 short-term to moon calls. On-chain T. At nam.edge. Whales quietly accumulating. Potential short-term breakout. Volume 4. $1 billion daily. Springboard set. Expert chorus. Bearded bear. Clean break above $2.20. $2.30 next. RSI 55. Massey D positive. Textbook. What ifs expanded. Moderate. 20% TX growth via RLUSD. $10 mid-2026. Hyper. 5% cross-border. $100. Wild. Trillion scale. $2,000. Per news BTC via Boney Bean. $20 within reach. Religious. No. Pure utility. Conditional education. Explaining burns respectfully. No explicit. Synthesizing. ETFs equals ignition. ISO equals fuel. Whales equals thrust. $2.25 floor. $2,000 ceiling plausible via compounding. Climactic reveal. Q1 2026 bank pilots. 5 times volume per whispers. ETF synergy equals stratospheric. Recap wins. $85 million inflows. ISO unlock. Accumulation. Community fire. Predictions. $2.30 to $20 data backed. If this unpacked the alpha like a pro, smash like for the algo boost. Comment your 2026 target. $10, $100, $2,000. Subscribe for exclusive drops. Share with warriors. XRP to the moon together.